So what is the most persecuted animal, do you think, in the U.S.? Care to take a guess?
No. Bats?
No. Coyotes.
Oh.
Coyotes, if you think about it. 90,000 of them are killed by U.S. government agents alone. Who knows how many are killed by private hunters? We're living with coyotes, all of us, and we're going to continue living with them. We better learn how to get along with them. We're going to talk about that coming up on Cronfro News Weekend. So why are we so unhappy with these animals? These are coyotes, or coyotes, you might say. They are the most successful of the medium to large-size animals in the U.S. As humans have expanded, so have coyotes. One of the reasons for that might be because wolves have been diminishing, and coyotes have come in and filled the niche that the wolves used to fill. But we are busy hunting them down all over the U.S., as I mentioned earlier, 90,000 a year killed by government agents and probably hundreds of thousands just killed by hunters in general. They are with us everywhere. So let me introduce you to Camilla Fox. She is the head of Project. Do you say coyote or coyote? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, I go back and forth.
Good. Because that's
Both
what I
correct.
do. So, and they're trying to promote coexistence between humans and what the American song dog. This is a unique native species to the U.S.
Yes, it's
to
really...
the Americas, rather.
Absolutely. It is our native song dog, and, you know, the Native Americans recognize this and recognize the all the different assets and components of this animal, you know, from the creator aspect to trickster, clever nature.
Yeah. But today, they're not popular. I mean, they were even used, low-down coyote, they just don't have a good rep. Why is that?
Unfortunately, they've been persecuted. They are the most persecuted native carnivore in the U.S., as you mentioned, and we have been snaring them, aerial gunning them, poisoning them for the past 2 centuries.
Well, one reason is because they do, as do wolves, you know, do attack livestock and fowl and things like that.
Right, and so they've been viewed as a threat to both livestock and also to game species that people hunt as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been viewed, you know, as an animal to be persecuted, annihilated. I mean, approximately 500,000 coyotes are killed every year in the U.S. With a variety of different methods.
Including aerial gunning, which is very common, I gather.
Right.
And there's bounty hunting on them as well.
Bounties, contest hunts, things that we know ultimately are ineffective, and that's the big thing, is that we know.
So tell me, as a representative of the coyote, tell me what is good about coyotes, about why we should accept them, and because we live with them, we can hear them all over the Bay Area.
Absolutely, they play actually a key ecological role, and they help to keep rodent populations in check. So gophers and moles and voles.
We love them.
And on the East Coast, groundhogs, and they also help to keep what are called mesocarnivore populations in balance. These are the foxes, opossums, raccoons, and those species can have, if their numbers increase, they can have a very detrimental effect on song and ground bird species.
Right.
So they have shifted into, in many ways, a keystone predator role, the role that wolves used to play.
Right. So that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Okay, but you've got to keep them in some kind of limit, protect livestock in some ways. So you've developed this model up in Marin. Can you explain how you're keeping them away from the livestock in a humane way?
Yeah, so Marin, like most western counties, used to contract with this agency, USDA Wildlife Services, which is how most counties work with the federal government to control predators, primarily for the behest of agribusiness and ranchers. So in Marin County, we were going to be one of 3 counties that was going to test the poison compound 1080. And a coalition of organizations got together and said, we do not want to be a testing ground for this place.
Yeah.
And
it's nasty stuff.
It's very bad. It's very, very lethal. There's no antidote.
Right.
And there is a federal bill right now that would ban it, which I can talk about. But ultimately what we did was we worked with the ranching community and the Department of Agriculture to establish a non-lethal program. It's called the Livestock and Wildlife Protection Program.
What kind of components?
So it helps the ranchers, instead of killing the predators, it actually helps them through a cost share program to obtain livestock guard animals such as dogs and llamas
Llamas scare away coyotes?
Most people have no idea, but they actually have a innate aggression towards wild canids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is obviously sort of more of an integrated natural system for protecting the wild stock and still allowing the coyotes to live in a human
And it
fashion.
also keeps the coyotes in a stable state. So instead of disrupting their social pack structure, which can actually lead to more coyotes, it keeps them in a stable family state, which benefits all.
Right. Okay, let me tell folks real quickly about a Coyotes in Our Midst event that's going to be taking place August 25th, 7 p.m. at the Tam Valley Community Center in Mill Valley. You go to projectcoyote.org for more information. They have a brand new newsletter with lots of fascinating information, and Camilla has also written a book called Coyotes in Our Midst. Thank you very much for joining us. I might mention, I know we're running long, but I got to tell you, we used to dog walk our dog in Washington, D.C. with her dad, who had a wolf named Tiny, who used to walk in the same area. It's amazing. Her dad being one of the major Humane Society experts in the country.
Thank you, and I just want to say too that we don't promote at all people having
wolves.
wild
No, this
coyotes or coyotes as pets.
Yes,
but
no, he was an expert in this. He was a behaviorist studying behavioral
Exactly.
stuff. I'm sorry I've run way long, but thank you very much for joining us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got lots more news and weather. You're watching Crawford News Weekend.